What makes you different from the next or the other average 19-year-olds?
I'm going to create something that didn't exist here before, and I'm going to make this better. If you approach everything you do in life with that attitude, I think there's nothing that can go wrong. There's no reason why someone would lose with that mindset.
People don't understand. Everything comes at a cost. That pleasure that you're getting from an outside cost, it comes at a cost. That thing holds power over you. It influences you in ways you can't even imagine. Hello everyone, welcome back to Wiser Together. This is your host Parmeet Kumar with your co-host Anas Pasha. As always, keep supporting us in any way you can. Let's get this episode started. We have Moksh here today, very good friend. Thank you for coming.
Hi Moksh, how are you?
Welcome to the pod.
I'm good. How are you, Anas? It's good to see you on
Bro, right off the bat. So, Parmeet told me that you're 19 years old, right? Okay, I just want to get that actually correct. Okay, right off the bat, what makes you different from the next or the other average 19-year-olds?
Has to be mindset, number one. Second has to be just having an indomitable spirit. I feel like today's world is super competitive and cold out there, and a lot of people are falling off. So if you just have a bulletproof mind that can cut through all of the bullshit and get to the end, that's all that you need at the end of the day. It's fine if you fall off every once in a while, but if you're strong on the inside, there's nothing wrong that can happen. Yeah.
How do you get this mindset though? That's the hard part, right? How does one get there?
I would say upbringing has been a very major factor in that. So my parents raised me with a lot of love. And if you're raised with a lot of love, you don't have issues on that side. You have no insecurities, no trauma. Once that's sorted out, then you can face the world in whatever way you want to. And I'm a big believer in you are what you consume. So I make sure I consume the right books. I listen to the right music that gets me into a good headspace. Listening to the right podcasts like Wiser Together. There's a couple more as well.
Yes.
I put it on my story yesterday. I listen to Joe Rogan every once in a while.
Joe's amazing.
He's the goat when it comes to podcasts.
Yeah, he's the goat.
There's one called Know What I'm Saying. So there's a guy on Instagram that I follow. His name is Mark Rupp. And it's a very similar concept where him and his friend, they're both living in different countries. They get together every Sunday, have a good chat, and then put it out there. Very good energy. I listen to them. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Like Iman Gadji's been on a few podcasts. He's someone that I do look up to. And then my circle as well. I feel like my friends are like also onto self-improvement. They're looking for ways to improve. And when you talk with someone else who's also onto self-improvement, it's more about uplifting each other. Everyone has their downsides, and it's all about polishing each other.
I'm loving the energy.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like I'm talking to a 19-year-old, to be very honest. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, bro. He's so like
the mental age is like above 30 or above 40. I mean, I really don't know where to put a number to it, but what I'm really trying to say.
Because we're gonna get down to that. Like we're gonna.
Nah, it's the environment. Parmeet's house is beautiful. Like I love this place, man. Yeah. And it was so good talking to you before the podcast.
Yes, we always have to do that warm-up session because it's the first time that usually either Parmeet is meeting someone that I know or that I'm meeting someone for the first time, or at the same time both of us are meeting someone that we haven't really met. So usually that just really gets the ball rolling. Gives me an insight to your life, you get an insight to my life, and from what I can look at it, I really want to talk about your upbringing as well. So for example, right, let's just do the maths here. So you're 19 years old. Where did you like there must be a spark where that something must have ignited, that something must have told you that look, what you're consuming right now should be different for the future self, for the current Moksh who is 19 years old. Where did that spark or where did that origins come from?
So when I was little, I would consider myself to be like I was very soft as a kid, right? Like I wasn't too much into sports. Academics, I was all right. I was a fat kid, so used to get shamed quite a lot in school. I was really into cricket, so I showed up for like every single trial. A lot of times I got bullied on field. All of that stayed with me. And then I used to watch cricket a lot. My favorite cricketer back in the day was Hardik Pandya, and I was a big Mumbai Indians fan. Then I got into and I always knew Virat Kohli was good, right? He's one of the best players, undeniably in world cricket right now. But I thought of him as really arrogant, which a lot of people think of him as.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? He does come off as someone who's arrogant, but after a point, I think 2016, 2017 is where I started growing an appreciation for the guy. Where I'm like, how does this man just keep coming back and keep getting better despite all of the noise? If he's walking into a stadium, if 45,000 people are booing at him right then and there, how does he have the conviction and belief to still take the match into his team's favor? And he's always talked about it's a team game. Cricket is a team game at the end of the day. So he makes sure the morale and the energy of the entire team is high while playing clutch innings and winning it for the team and like shutting those 45,000 people off in the stadium while not being rude. And that always like that's something that got me into like, how does he do it, then I went through a lot of podcasts, a lot of interviews of his, and it was just that desire to like come back stronger. If you get put down in any situation in life, it's all about getting up stronger, and that's what my father also taught me quite a bit. When I used to be obese, he was like you need to lose weight, if you feel like you're down, get back up, and that annoyed me for a bit. I was like why is he saying all of these things to me?
How old were you? 14, 15?
Yeah, 14, 15 probably. And then 16, 17 is when I was like, all right, I saw these YouTube workouts, so high intensity interval training,
Yeah.
5-minute follow along workouts,
Yeah.
and I started doing them in my room. No one knew about it. I used to do planks, this, that, everything. I was good at swimming and cricket, so that always stuck with me. And then I got into like living a better lifestyle, eating the right foods, and then after that, everything was a ripple effect. Academics improved as well as I got into better shape. I feel like how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you have, if I say for example, I was in a low space last year when I came to uni first semester. You get with the wrong and get into the wrong environments, and then you're not vibrating at the frequency that you want to vibrate at. But deep down, you're meant for more, and that I always had that in me. And then the first correction I made was my physical appearance and my lifestyle, my fitness. I got into fitness, and then after that, it was a ripple effect. Fitness bled into academics bled into content creation, and then in the end, it's just this culmination of everything coming together beautifully. And yeah, as Daniel Siddiqui mentioned in the episode that you did with him, now I have this bubble around me, and yeah, it's a very beautiful.
Analogies really help us like understand the situation so
No,
much
absolutely.
clearly, right?
Absolutely. Do you have any other analogies that you personally follow?
There's tons. The one that is sticks with me all the time is where you look at your comfort zone and you step outside it, and it feels unfamiliar because you're outside your comfort zone. But until you stay there, persist for some time, then your comfort zone grows.
Expands.
And no matter what uncomfortable situation you are, eventually you will.
And
get
that's the
comfortable.
episode we did
And
on
then you-
box. Parmeet basically came up with the whole analogy of the box, and there's a whole episode about it. Yeah,
How we put our
which was very interesting.
box.
Yeah,
You should
the
watch
the
that.
thing
You
with
should like
Parmeet
it.
is that he
100%.
really knows like I mean, to me, like he really can see, like, peep into your soul, and he can really read a personality very well. Like, he knows things about myself that even I didn't know about. So that was something brilliant.
Sometimes I tell him, and he's like,
Bro, how did you figure that out? No, it's so
Yes,
important to have
yes.
people like Parmeet around. I have a friend who's 22 years old. He's 3 years older to me. His name is Aryan. And yeah, he's that how Parmeet is to you. He's that guy for me. Wherein like he'll tell me things that I could have never figured out in the first place, and then you fix that and you get to the next level.
and I just have to say as well, like likewise, there's so many things I learned from Anas, and so much inspiration I get from him, and you as well, bro. It's like there's a reason why we're doing this together, because I feel like there's so much we can learn from you, and vice versa. Going back to that, your upbringing, there's one thing me and Moksh sat down for a coffee the other
Yeah.
day. There's one thing you said to me was the biggest gift my parents give me was meditation. And
yeah.
you are an avid meditator, right?
I am.
How long you've been doing that? Why is it the biggest gift that you got, and how did that lead you to having this mindset that you have now?
So I was 12 years old. And if you have you heard about Osho by any chance? I know
Osho.
Parmeet has. Osho, yeah, he was a spiritual leader, you could call him.
Yeah.
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 In India, big in India, first big in US and then big in India. And my father visited the Osho ashram in Pune in India in I think 1994 for the first time, and he loved it so much he kept going back. After he got married, he introduced my
Wow.
mother to meditation. As soon as I was born, I remember I don't remember. They told me I was 4 years old, and he took me to Osho for the first time. And
Like an ashram,
I
like
see.
kind of like a holy place,
meditation
Mm.
resort, like
meditation
yeah.
center resort.
So I went there for the first time when I was 4 years old, and the way I was talking to people there and like roaming around, people there thought that's my home. I like there was this old guy. His name is Manu Swami. He passed away last year, 80 years old, and that's what he said. Like for this guy, it's his home. He's coming back home here.
Yeah.
His first home isn't his birthplace. This is his first home. So my dad brought me back to that place when I was 12 because the legal age there to enter and do all of the meditation practices is 12 years old. So when I turned 12, he took me to the meditation resort. I started with Kundalini meditation, and that was the only meditation I could sit through for 1 hour and like do all of the procedures because it involved a lot of dancing, good music. Then you sit down, listen to the music, and the last stage, it's four-stage meditation. So the last stage is just lying down
And
after you've
observing.
catharted and yeah, observing. So that observing, that watchfulness, my father kept talking about watchfulness throughout my childhood. I never really understood it because yeah, I believe you never really
It's
understand what
hard.
watchfulness.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's hard to get to that state, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
As you were telling me the other day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is the biggest gift my parents gave me was to introduce me to that watcher inside. You could call it your spirit, you could call it the god inside, you could call it the fabric of existence, fabric of universe. And it's just a very small peep into what you are part of.
Hmm.
You realize that everything around you is interrelated. The whole of the universe is celebrating in one moment. And if you are one with the watcher, there are no sorrows. It's just bliss and joy. And yeah.
By the watcher, I want to make some clarification for people who might not understand. By watcher, he just means when you meditate, you're trying to observe, right?
True.
You're trying to be the observer. Just your thoughts, feelings, sensations, whatever they're coming, you're just observing without attaching to them. So you just become a watcher. You don't become involved in the scene. You're just watching the scene and observing. If that makes sense.
He explained it
Does that make
Yeah.
sense, Anas?
To be very honest,
You're
no, of
yeah,
course.
because I don't know if people
Yes,
understand
exactly,
as
and that's
well.
where I come in because like other people as well. I'm just first of all, like I was just baffled by what Moksh was saying, like just to understand the whole gravity of the situation. And I mean, kudos to your parents for introducing you like
Yeah,
that.
that did sound wishy-washy, but like
No,
yeah.
it didn't. I mean, like it's. I mean, of course, I'm trying to grasp like the whole idea. A friend of ours also came. She also said that she used to do Kundalini, but I didn't know about this watchful part and everything. Of course, as we say in this podcast as well, like we get information, but like to just bring it home, you have to do your own research. Like just like see, read, and drive on to that point as well. But definitely, I do understand. I mean, wow, like it is going to be hard. Like just not getting involved and just like watching, just being a spectator. I mean,
yeah,
it would require a lot of discipline, a lot of mental discipline, like a lot of mental muscle.
awareness.
I think that is that
It's
is what that is what enlightenment
Yeah.
at the end of the day is, that you do
yes,
whatever you do, be it like materialistic goals, be it working out, be it like working, reading, living, drinking, partying, could be anything. That's what enlightenment is, where the watcher takes over. You're no longer you. You
affected.
are, say you are Anas, he's Parmeet, I am Moksh. But at the core, we're not Moksh, Anas, Parmeet. We're just the watchers inside. And
The
enlightenment is
consciousness
that's the
within.
consciousness.
Yeah,
And when it takes over, you're just a vessel at the end of the day. You're just you just have to
just
watch,
flowing.
just
Yeah, I
flow.
mean, these concepts are really hard to understand for if
You're
you're
new to it.
not, yeah, if you're new to it, not an avid meditator. But yeah, the idea is just to be observant, and once you become observant, you're no longer involved in the scene. And if you're not involved in the scene, you have nothing to do with what good or bad it can bring you. People just get very affected, right? They're very reactive, so that if you become more observant, you won't react
The only
as
way
much.
that
You
I'm able to relate, of course, is like of course, like you said, that it is a little hard to grasp. I mean, of course, and with practice you get it. But the only way that I can relate right now is through stoicism, as you know, like
true, yeah. I read
yes.
a lot
So
of
in that we
stoicism.
have the dichotomy of control, which is doing things in your own power and just letting things which are not in your own
Yeah,
power. So that's the only part,
exactly.
and
Have you
I
read
might not
meditation?
be right or like not be connecting it 100%, but that's the only funnel that I can connect it with. But gosh, you guys, like this is amazing. And I mean, it totally makes me understand, like, like how we're all three of us are thinking, and the three of us, the things that we're doing. And it
Yeah.
is discipline definitely is required, not only like a physical sort of a discipline, but like an internal sort of a discipline. But what you guys are talking about is something next level, which I would really hope
It's
to.
honestly
Yeah.
like just a very simple step which can have a very profound effect on your life, and it can give you a lot of power. Like it can give you a lot of power, and you don't even have to do anything. And obviously, the more you practice this, the more you understand it. You can't just from day one just be an observer.
True.
Just differentiating your consciousness from your mind itself will take some time. But at the end, you have to realize that they're two separate things, and your mind will throw at you everything. If you become conscious of everything it's throwing at you, that those thoughts or those moments become your consciousness. You're not aware of anything else. You know how sometimes we just get into deep thoughts,
Yeah, yeah.
and when you're in that deep thought, your whole consciousness is that thought. You forget about everything else. There's so many sensations and going around us that we're not even aware of.
Yeah.
So this is what happens, and this allows you to be select which thoughts you wanna act on and take up on, because you'll have both negative and positive. So this, like how it shaped your mindset a lot. I can see it just in your demeanor and how adaptive and resilient you are. And I've seen a lot of change from last year up until this point as well.
When I was new in uni, I remember I was playing ping pong in the Abercrombie student
Yeah.
accommodation common room, and Parmeet and a couple of his friends were also there. They were talking about some university or some coursework, and I just remember like looking at Parmeet. I'm like, damn, he's a fit guy. He had a good outfit on, and that's the my first memory of Parmeet. And then like he's seen me quite a lot, but like we never really
Used to say
conversed.
hi there each other,
So
yeah.
so what so
But
what
I
I
followed.
picked so what I picked from this little anecdote are two things that um, first impressions are definitely are something. So guys, always your
Yeah.
Oh
trip
yeah,
must
hundred
be very
percent.
nice. And the second thing is that's the first time you met for me. But
I like your beard, man. I like your
oh,
beard.
thank
That's
you
what
so
I'm
much.
saying.
A lot of people think I color
No, no, you should
it.
cut it, bro. You should. I think,
Really?
bro. No,
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 that
no, no.
was.
That was just a joke. Yeah.
I'm very slow at sarcasm, by the way.
What? Sorry?
That's all right, bro. That's all right. I used to be slow at sarcasm as well. It's like tube light.
Slow at
After a
sarcasm,
point, you're like,
yeah.
oh shit, wait, now I
Oh,
realize
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Slow at
Oh,
sarcasm.
yes. That's just
That's right.
what I.
Right.
It's good because then you get two rounds of laughter, right? So once you already
Yeah.
laughed, and then Parmeet's like, oh shit, now I
Yes,
got the
yes.
joke. Let's
Yeah.
laugh, and then everyone's laughing
This is
again.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Moksh, I just because I wrote this down and I really wanted to understand. Like you said in the beginning, in the first few minutes, that while you were explaining your mentality, you said that it's a cold world. How does like a 19-year-old comes to that conclusion that it is definitely a cold world out there?
So when I came to university, I come from a very small town. It's called Jamnagar in India. It's on the west coast
In Gujarat,
in
right?
Gujarat.
Yeah.
And the city that I come from, it's basically like everyone knows everyone. And I come from a business family. I come from a good upbringing, a privileged family. I'm privileged like that. And everyone's always treated me nicely.
Hmm.
I was never really, except for the high school bullying and everything, I've never been treated bad, or like had any sort of issues, arguments like that. When I came to, and then I flew out of Jamnagar for the first time. Like I went abroad to study, so I took a big jump. I never went to a boarding school, nothing. My first jump was like straight out of Jamnagar and to
To
Sydney,
Sydney. Wow.
and then I moved to Sydney. And in my mind, I always thought, look, everyone's gonna be good. Everyone's a good human being. Everyone's nice. And I was just like super nice to people, right? And I used to fake my niceness as well. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be like,
Of
hey, I
course,
was a
of
pure
course,
soul or
yeah.
anything. I used to fake. But then you realize that if you're just nice to everyone, you're gonna be taken advantage of. Um, you have to be very shrewd on the outside. You have to be very tough, very resilient, and then you reserve your inside, your pureness inside for the people that deserve it.
Hmm.
I do not think you're 19 years old. It is impossible. That's just
No, man, no.
And
amazing.
you went through all this transition this last year, right?
Last year,
Because and it was such a new environment for you, and obviously like young, vulnerable, impressionable in that environment. I want to ask you a question actually, because when I think back to my time when I was 18, 19, went to uni, very young, impressionable kid, just trying to fit in, right? Uh, trying to be a part of a social group.
True.
And you basically just to fit in and you do certain things with the group that you wouldn't necessarily do yourself, but just to fit in and have a sense of belonging, you do those things, right? And at that age, when you're 18, 19, you maybe get involved in drinking and partying and this and that, and not necessarily having those boundaries, yeah, or investing in self improvement and stuff like that. So I was very much like how you were last year. And I personally, when I think back to it, and I was just thinking about it today in the shower, when you like, when we had a chat, I never had someone when I was 19 who could tell me these things and have a chat about it. You yourself are very self aware. You already know these things and you are already in that environment, and this is being cultivated. So I just want to ask you, being a 19-year-old coming to a foreign country, being young, impressionable kid trying to fit in, and there's a lot of them like you, as you've seen in uni. What is your advice to other 18, 19 year olds just moving out to uni to, not just lose their sense of self in the process of trying to fit in? Because I've seen a lot of people, and partly I did as well, lose that sense of self just to belong to a community or social group or setting, just to fit in and be have a sense of belongingness. And in that process, I sort of lost myself. Or even when you're so young, you don't even know what you are, what you want. So it's important to have the right kind of surrounding. But you were able to realize that and then act on that, which makes you different, right?
True.
I don't know anyone else personally, to be honest, who's doing what you're doing. Maybe it's maybe 1%, very rare. Like, so how did you like come to this realization? Because how you were last year was very close to how I was when I was 18, and how you are this year is very close to how I am now. So what took me 8 years took you 1 year. How?
Okay, so again, I feel like meditation helped a lot, because a lot of it is just knowing who you are. And then when you do something that is not true to that, you sort of know.
You feel the ick.
You feel the ick. Yeah. You know it's not right. Energy never lies.
Yeah.
And I always knew, even in the first semester of uni, when I was trying to fit in, doing all of these things, drinking, partying, going out a lot, hanging out with people that I wouldn't otherwise hang out with, just to fit in, being nice. I knew it all along. I knew it, but I chose not to do anything about it. And then there came a point where I was like, if I continue like that, the downsides of my life trajectory is gonna, it's either make or break. I feel like 18 to 25 is the age where you either make or break your life.
Yeah.
And if I don't fix the things that I have right now, if I don't fix my habits right now, I used to sleep at like 4 a.m., wake up at 12, skip classes, not study much, hardly hit the gym, hardly read. I was like, this is not
Just
how I want
winging
to,
it.
just winging it. I was like, whatever life throws at me, I'll
Product of the circumstances, we call it. So you just live according to the circumstances. So was it like was it an overnight shift? You had a realization and everything changed?
I'll take you through the story,
please,
right?
Yeah, please.
So there was the Cricket World Cup was going on last year, the T20 Cricket World Cup.
Yeah.
I had booked tickets for the T20 World Cup before I came to Sydney. So I knew I was going to the World Cup, this, that. Again, I told you Virat Kohli has always been my biggest role model. And around the time where the Cricket World Cup was going to happen, I sort of had this realization that the path that I'm going on isn't the correct one for me. And that's when I started like making effort. Hey, I should probably hit the gym, or hey, I should probably start reading. But again, forming habits is a very lengthy process. It takes a while.
Yeah.
So I was just in the process of doing that, filtering out my circle, this, that. And then when I went to MCG, I went to Melbourne and I watched that cricket game. And I remember like just everything, the odds were against us. And the way Virat just stuck in there. And Virat was also going through a bad phase. He had a lean patch for 2 years where he wasn't scoring any runs.
Yeah.
And the Asia Cup before the World Cup, he scored a century finally. Then he came to Australia, finally getting back to his pink patch. And then he just stuck there on the crease, kept playing. And the energy and the atmosphere in the stadium was completely different to what you guys would have seen on TV. I could feel what he was feeling right there, out there.
Wow.
I had a sense of belief where I was like, if this guy is there on the pitch, I'm pretty sure we're winning. Like I had that sense of belief, and I've seen these chases way too many times from Virat Kohli. 2016, 2017, 18, 19. I've seen too many of these chases. So I was like, if he pulls out a Virat Kohli classic right now, that is just perfect. And he did. He batted it out. And then when the right time came in, he just hit those shots, and then he took the game away from you guys, sadly.
Yeah.
But it was a very close fight. Like, it was crazy. Like the way your bowlers challenged Naseem Shah, Shaheen Shah, Afridi, like crazy pace bowlers. I think India lacks pace, to be very honest. But yeah, that innings was a turnaround moment. It really deeply
For
touched
you.
me. For me, I cried in the stadium. I cried at night. I came home. I made a reel on that. Actually, that went viral on my Instagram.
Yeah,
I got
it's
like
crazy.
284K views or something.
It's insane. It's insane. Yeah.
So I cried while editing that, and then I made a YouTube video and I cried again. So I was that it really moved me. That innings was insane. And then that's where I was like, hey man, if he can do this, why can't I? Why can't I make a turnaround? Right? What do I need to do to make a turnaround? So I followed all of these self improvement YouTubers and self improvement people on Instagram. It's the classic Eman Gaji, Hamza. I haven't watched a lot of
Hamza.
anime.
Hamza is
I love
dangerous.
Hamza.
Hamza?
Hamza Ahmed
Hamza is
on YouTube.
Hamza. I show it to him, but he's
He's very,
Hamza is
very
very
dreadful and
unfiltered, very unfiltered. Yeah.
very unfiltered.
Yeah.
But sometimes
He's
you
a
just need that hot
Pakistani
pill,
UK
Yeah.
like origin, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking.
So I got into like listening to their podcast while doing laundry and stuff. I used to listen to them a lot. And there was this moment in around that time, like right before the World Cup, there was this moment where like the people that I hung out with in the first semester, um, I didn't really relate to them much, and I wasn't invited to those circles, to the events that were
That
happening in those
drift
circles.
just comes.
It
Yeah.
just comes like everything
Boils
happened
up, yeah.
together, right? And
Yeah.
my friend was also on exchange. He was going through a similar story, my best friend from home, and we used to basically live on video call. So like I was completely alone, and when you're completely alone, when you're down and out, and then you just need that one spark to like pick you back up, and that innings
Yeah.
was that spark. Then I got into Atomic Habits. I started reading Atomic Habits. That's where I got
What
the
a
bamboo
book.
growth concept.
Amazing. Yeah.
I feel like if anyone wants to get into self improvement, just start with Atomic Habits. That's the best way to start. Got into Atomic Habits. I was like, shit, reading is so fun. Like, you get to learn so much. I got into reading, then I went back home for a couple of months. Started training regularly, reading every single day, taking cold showers, ice baths.
Yeah.
Got into all of that, clean eating, spent time with family. I went back to Osho for a week during that time, right before coming to Sydney again, beginning of this year. And then manifesting.
Yeah.
Like I had a vision for myself. Like if when I go back to uni this time, these are the things I really want to do, and I'm gonna make them happen.
And did you make them happen?
I made them happen. Yeah, I came
Good
to
for
uni.
you, bro. I'm
Yeah,
happy for you.
thanks, man.
I can see the change, bro, and it's phenomenal, honestly. So coming back to that, obviously that thing was always in you. If you don't have that
Spark.
something bothering you within, eventually it's gonna shout out and it's gonna lead to a change. But if you don't, if there isn't a problem, if you don't realize there's a problem in the first place, you're not gonna
See,
look for a
the
solution.
Yeah.
But I feel like this plays a role as well. You were doing YouTube since a while, no?
I was doing YouTube since 2017. I used to watch Casey Neistat, Irfan Juneja from Pakistan. These were few of my inspirations. So I got into filmmaking, YouTube. Even like during school days, I used to just pick up a camera and like try to make whatever film I could.
Yeah.
And
Very
that's
interesting.
around the time where I transformed for the first time. That was 2019. I got into calisthenics. I actually had a startup right out of high school with my best friend. So it was called Meteoric. We helped people learn calisthenics. And if you've heard about the app called Notion, we actually made Notion templates for our clients for them to track their progress. But the difference was we were selling templates. We used to update their workout plans, and it was a subscription based plan. So like a 2 week plan, 5 week plan. We handle clients this, that. This was right before uni. So I always had that in me where I was like, even my 12th grade, I was into self improvement properly in my 12th grade. But then yeah, I lost my way for a bit in the first or second semester of university. And
See,
then, yeah, picked back up.
the most dominant thing that I can see right now, and I think if I dare to say it, in all three of us, is passion. Without passion, like, because I saw those stories for Virat Kohli. I saw like the post match conference where you put it up that the moment,
It's a
the
highlight
moment
of
where he
my
said that thank you for
uh,
sticking out throughout this time. I remember that match as well, and definitely we remember that match. And
That's how you know he's done his
of
research,
course,
man.
yes,
That's
I saw
amazing.
everything. I saw you crying as well with your friend. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because this is not an ordinary thing. We all cry, and this happens to me as well. Like, there are something that really just brings out that emotion inside you, and I feel like as a society right now, we're really dead. There is no emotion, there is no passion. People cry at the most stupidest thing,
Mm.
but they don't cry. Yeah, I mean, you know why they cry. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
cry at
I
stupid
understand.
things, but
Yeah.
exactly,
they
they
don't
don't.
cry at things
This
just
cry that you
that
had was something that was just like your body was just like pushing, like trying to. It's like a cocoon, like your body was just trying to push something out. So that shows, and that passion was literally showing, because motivation can only get you so far. It's the discipline, it's the passion that gets you up every day and makes you want to do those things what you want to do. As for the groups and the friends that stopped inviting you, you know why? It's because every time they see you, every time they see Moksh walking by, and every time they see you on Instagram, it's yes, sir. That's it. That's what I say. That's what I say. And that is just really detrimenting to anyone who's not in a good state of mind, because it just makes them go down a rabbit hole where they can't go from. Like, it's like, like when you asked that question where you said that if Virat Kohli can do it, why can't I? So they're probably asking the same question. But the problem is they don't have the work to back it up. So, wow, I mean, first of all, kudos to Permit for asking such a proper question. And second of all, thank you for answering in such an amazing way. If there was ever such a story of self improvement like yours, it's just phenomenal. Very, very, very phenomenal.
There's so many
And,
crazy
and the
stories out
crazy
there.
part is
yeah,
you're just 19, so there's just so much like road to go.
yeah, that's one. So
Yeah.
much wisdom at such a young age,
While we're on
and
Virat Kohli, I just want to ask, because I had this question. What's the number one lesson you take from?
I feel like Virat Kohli talks about this a lot as well. If your intent is in the right place and you've given 120% of your effort, if you've gone the extra mile, I don't see a reason why you should be worried about the outcome. If your
hmm,
intent is pure, for cricket, for his intent would be to make sure his team wins and create the right environment, have the right brand of
yeah.
cricket, raise the next batch of youngsters. His intent is in the right place. He's not playing for stats, and you can tell the sort of
Yeah,
risks
yeah,
he
it's
takes.
visible in his demeanor, how he carries everything, and he's always lively on the pitch, joking
Yeah,
around, and yeah,
keeping the environment lively, like
I
you should
was,
always
yeah,
feel the
I
energy
felt
should
so
be
lucky
pure,
watching
right?
him in Dubai 3 times. I was like, wow, that's just, yeah, like right in front of us and everything. And people in Pakistan love him. And that's the thing, like you said, that he used to come off as arrogant. I feel like that is what is required in a winner. It was the same with Michael Jordan. People didn't used to like him, but what is he there for? What is his job?
he was actually
No,
arrogant.
these no
He
I
was
was,
no
I was,
these
actually
people
I,
are, and I'm saying that should be the case, because your
yeah,
job is
should
to
be the
win.
case.
I mean, the other team isn't there to like have a picnic, right? Like, so
yeah.
if you don't have
There's,
that mind,
there's nothing
yeah,
wrong with
yes,
it, by the
exactly,
way.
yeah.
There's nothing
I
wrong about it. It
that
just stayed
that is
as
what
it
is
is.
missing actually. Like, people don't have the killer mindset. I mean, we're not.
Hmm.
I like to call it the dog in you. Like you have to have the dog in
Yeah,
you, where you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
I
at
mean,
me.
again, like I'm going to quote the book Relentless. Tim Grover, who was the fitness coach for Michael Jordan, he labels these guys, because he trained Kobe Bryant as well, Michael Jordan, as cleaners. Like, these guys just clean. Like, it's a very specific definition. It's not with everybody, because these guys
What do you
perform.
mean by clean
So
though?
what he's trying to say is that consistency.
You've given to all three like what the
Okay,
concept
so
is.
with cleaners, the context is one thing, which is consistently doing the same thing over and over again, consistently, year in, year out. It's not easy. There's so many famous people that we don't know now, but there are few famous athletes, singers, etc., that are still relevant. 20 years down the line, they're still relevant. So
It is
yes,
because
these
they,
guys.
if they have the
Exactly.
consistent,
These
the
guys have that mentality. These guys know that it's not a one-time thing. That this mentality, it's like a switch.
Winning is everything.
Exactly.
Nothing goes
Exactly.
beyond
Exactly.
winning for them.
Because they
And
realize that,
yeah,
um, sure, I mean, giving up, like a lot of people do that, but they say that, okay, if you give up, there's not much bill, but the bill of regret is too much, and sometimes it is passed
yeah,
on
that's what he said.
generationally. So this is what I want to touch, like your father. The thing that he did with Osho, and you introducing, and just like, like basically giving you that idea that, like, just take care of yourself. He literally stopped a bill of regret from a generation. Just imagine you yourself and your kids down the line. So
Mhm.
that's the thing, like, people just who are not working hard, and we always say that it's not about money or anything, it's just like chase excellence, be the best version of yourself, right?
money is
Yeah.
a byproduct.
And just
Yeah,
imagine, like, then what they can do for their children, right? If so this is what he said, that the bill of regret is generational. And I was like, wow. So this is what the mentality is, and this is what I believe Virat Kohli has as well. I mean, Michael Jordan, he's up there. He's definitely up there. Such an amazing player. I mean, just imagine like your next door neighbors, they everyone likes him, and everyone did not used to like him because of his arrogance. And it wasn't about being arrogant, it was about being arrogant, but I would say not performing. But when you perform, when the performance comes with it, and everybody loves a winner. Everybody loves a winner.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to be with that guy. Everybody wants to be with that girl.
you cannot not
Exactly, yeah.
appreciate
And
that.
his energy. And now, of course, once you, because this is what happens with GOATs, like with Michael Jordan as well. Everyone is like, you are the GOAT. LeBron isn't nothing. He says no. Like that was a different era. Larry
Hmm.
Bird was a better player, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, etc., etc. He never says that I am the king, and that's with Virat Kohli as well. Every time they say King Kohli, he's modest. He's like, no, I mean there are better players as well, but the stats say otherwise. The chases say otherwise.
Yeah,
This World Cup, Australia knocked out 3 wickets early, top order gone, and he was there. Once he's there and once he's in the zone, I mean, of course his catch dropped and everything, but he didn't give them another chance. He just went in for the kill, annihilated.
yeah.
So this is what cleaners are, yeah.
That's
And
what.
to be very honest,
Yeah, they're unaffected,
yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
By,
What I was telling you with superiorness and everything, it is definitely a mindset. And what bothers me about myself is that sometimes when I, when I let life happen to me, so it's
Yeah,
just you get off that, and that's very annoying, because
yeah,
once you're
yeah,
in that
I
zone,
know.
nothing can affect you. But when you're not in that zone, everything starts affecting you. It's the most trivial
Everything
yeah.
affects you.
ancillary
Yeah,
thing starts affecting you, and I'm
True.
like, is this, you're gonna let this thing bother you? It's
Yeah,
yeah,
embarrassing.
is it real?
Exactly, yeah. Then I just go to my
No, I'm a
Instagram and I
believer
just
in the fact
stop
that
putting up stupid notes. But then yeah, but yeah, but this is what the whole mindset thing is all about.
it's all about like you create your life, you create the environment around you. Creation is the I do a lot of art. I again like even editing, making videos. I've painted as well. Like I've always been a like creator. I like expressing myself, and that is what essentially life is, creation. And especially if you're a male, again this ties back
Oh, I
to
think we're gonna have to do
what
another
is
episode. This is amazing. He's touched on a very good subject.
what
Yeah,
is our purpose as a male at the end of the day is to
yeah,
create, right? That is
mm,
we have life force. We can create literally another human being, another living being. We
yeah,
have that life force in us, and if we do not approach every single thing we do in life with that creation, that attitude of like, hey, like I can bend this situation, circumstance to whatever my liking is for the better. If you approach everything in life with that mindset, where it's like I'm gonna create something here, I'm gonna create something that didn't exist here before, and I'm gonna make
mm,
this better. If you approach
beautiful,
everything you do in life with that attitude, I think there's nothing that can go
beautiful.
wrong. There's no reason why someone would lose with that mindset.
Wow, Prameet, you have amazing
for
friends.
I want to make like come back to Tim Grover. So, as you know, he was the coach for LeBron James.
Yeah,
Not necessarily the basketball, but fitness
Yeah,
coach.
he's just like a
What
conditioning.
was
fitness
which
coach, but not a basketball coach, but a fitness coach. Like his job was to make sure like
fitness
the
coach?
players are fit.
Mi- yeah,
Mhm.
Michael
Kobe
Jordan and
Bryant,
Kobe,
Charles
and
Barkley, like big names in basketball.
yeah. Anyway, in the book, he
I do see a Tim
categorizes.
Grover book
It's
somewhere.
actually downstairs. I
Downstairs,
just
right?
finished it. I just finished Relentless. But he describes everybody as in three categories. There's a cooler, there's a closer, and then there's a
Cleaner.
cleaner, right? And he puts LeBron as well in the closer category. So it just goes to show you what. And he puts down his reasons for doing that. In any case, Tim Grover himself as well, absolute cleaner. There's a small story I want to share, and it blew my mind. If you look more into him,
Yes,
Tim Grover
exactly.
is like phenomenal, phenomenal. So there's this one story where he had to like, so he used to constantly fly from here to there, go to
Oh,
players,
I
do
love the
conditioning with
story.
them, this and that. Yeah,
Yes,
you heard
yes,
it right.
yes.
This one time he was packing his bags just to fly off to a game or whatever, and
Hmm.
then his young daughter came to him and
Yeah,
he's like, "Dad, you're always traveling. I don't really get to spend time with
yeah.
you, and what's up?" So he goes like, "This is how I provide for the family,
Hmm.
and this is how I food put food on the
Okay.
table, and then she asked him, if I eat less, will you stay home more?
Okay, and then
How
what is he
fucking
And he
insane is
still
that?
went.
And he's like, this
He
is
still went for his job.
yeah, he's like, it's not
Yeah,
some story where I don't know everything
exactly.
went well. I took her for ice cream.
That's the
I
thing. Yeah,
have a
that's the
duty and a
mentality.
responsibility, and I still went.
Crazy,
That's
yeah.
crazy,
Crazy, yeah.
bro. Like,
That's
Crazy.
purpose.
It was. It felt
Purpose
like
driven.
literally it was
right?
out of a movie or someone like from Hollywood wrote that script. Like amazing.
I had like
Yes,
goosebumps
yes,
when I
yeah.
heard that. I'm
I
like,
mean, just imagine like what would we do? I'm weak in this, to be very honest. If I have a daughter, I mean, I would literally say, okay, I'll make time for you. I'm like that. But then this guy was no, he just went because yeah,
Ruthless.
because
yeah. But I
because
also,
his commit
A very
yeah.
similar story to that. Which again, I've been talking about Virat Kohli too much, I guess.
No, I
But
mean, of course,
long story short, I think he was 19 or 20 years old, and he was
yeah.
playing
I
in a
know this
Ranji
one as
Trophy
well.
game.
Yes,
So Ranji Trophy, yeah. His father passed away at 3 a.m. in the
Mm,
night. He was the night watchman, so he was batting the day before, and it was just not in his nature to leave a game midway. So his father died at 3 a.m. in the night. They took him to the hospital. He was lifeless. He still went on with no sleep, with a dead father, to the game, scored a 50, went to the dressing room, and that's when he finally cried and let out his emotions. And that just goes to show that, like,
I'm
your
getting
purpose is what
goosebumps
really
now.
matters.
that's
It's
why
amazing.
they are who they are. So I mean, there's no like people
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that I can be this, I can be that. I mean, the amount of work and the amount of preparation that goes on to it, and it's just not like one person. The behind us, there are so many people. Like I always
So
say,
many
like
people.
because of Permeet, I got so many opportunities in Dubai, and
And that's
the behind me, there have been so
it's
many people.
generally, it's not even about,
So
my, in these like icon figures,
yeah,
and be it Michael Jordan, Virat Kohli, or whoever, what they've done with their life is phenomenal, right? Good for them. They've transcended life and their ability to master their technique and whatever they've done, success to another level. That is one thing. What's more beautiful to see is how many people take inspiration from that and improve, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one person, he's changed his life, but what is the carry on effect of that? See,
exactly,
look,
yeah,
Yeah.
yourself,
exactly.
different people, millions of people inspired and doing good because of that one person. And then if that can
Can
ripple
ripple
on
on.
and ripple on, it's
Like,
it's endless, man.
Yeah,
Energy
this
flows,
is
right?
energy
such a
flows.
Parmeet has literally drove this home. I had a question. So, of course, I'm just going to quickly explain how bamboo grows. Please correct me because I'm very much wrong about this. This is
Yeah.
what I saw in a 1 minute video. So, you plant the
All right,
bamboo.
all right. Well, let's give some context.
Yes, please, yes.
Moksh lives in Sydney, studies economics,
Bachelor of Economics,
bachelor,
second year
and
student.
he does YouTube as well, and he has
Yeah.
a
I do YouTube. I do content
day in
creation
life
on
series,
Day in the Life series on Instagram.
which is called
The Bamboo Growth series.
We'll link
Bamboo Growth
everything
Series.
up.
So I am a big, I phenomenal. I mean, I love it, man.
Yeah,
I
and
love
they're
watching
done
it.
so well.
Where you edit it, and
They're done so well.
it's. I mean, it's almost perfect.
They're done
It's
so
almost
well.
perfect
No,
because
no,
I
no.
just yeah. So
I'm
you
so
and
glad. I'm
yeah.
so
Now
glad
you
to
can
hear
go
So
ahead
that.
and
you
explain why
yeah.
it's called the bamboo tree.
So you plant the bamboo, okay, and then after I don't know how many days, let's say 60 days if I'm not wrong, the bamboo shoots up, and then it just remains the same height. And then I think then the next cycle, uh, something is happening underground, and another shoot comes up for the bamboo, but it this time it grows taller than the previous one, and then the cycle repeats, so on and so forth. Okay, so first of all,
It's so confusing. The way you're explaining it is so
So,
guys,
confusing.
nah, but you're spot on. Like, you've
Yeah,
got the
you.
concept right. Okay, so when you plant the
Yeah,
bamboo, it takes about 5 years to
yeah,
make an extensive root system
yes,
underground,
yeah.
and then in 90 days or so, it shoots up
Shoots
like
up.
8 feet, six
yeah,
feet into the air.
Yeah.
And for a normal person, if they saw the sprout of bamboo from the ground and they came back 90 days later, they'll be like, shit, that's an overnight success right there. How did
Yeah.
it shoot up like 8, 9 feet into the air in like such a short time? That's what overnight, like, that's how we define people's success as, right? Hey, this guy's an overnight success. This guy's an overnight success. Damn, Virat Kohli changed his life in 2012, and look at him. 2014 is the best player in the world. It must be luck. Has to be something related to luck.
Yeah.
But they don't realize the 5 years of
The
laying the
roots.
foundation, the roots,
Yeah.
the small wins, getting the small wins every day, setting the right habits, distancing yourself from the wrong company, having the courage to be alone. getting the right mindset, getting your intent right.
People don't see that.
People don't see that, but that is where the real work is. And that's what people don't understand. They look for ways to hack the
They
system.
just see the tip of the mountain.
Tip
They
of the
don't
mountain.
see the whole.
Exactly, the whole tip of the iceberg. And the
iceberg.
iceberg.
Sorry, iceberg.
Iceberg.
Yeah.
But that's the whole concept, that my day in the life series is basically showcasing my routine. I don't showcase anything else. It's just like my daily routine. And I also talk about like self-improvement concepts. I do make edits, like compilation edits of everything. But yeah, that goes on to say that if if these are the small things, the small wins that got me to this person that I am today, and I have like big goals for myself, and I'm pretty sure that again the strategy for achieving every single big goal might be different. But if I have my foundations right, if I have my small wins right, my daily habits right, nothing is stopping me to get to that level. After that, it's just my mind. How smart
Your
am
mind
I?
is your biggest limitation.
Mind is your biggest
That's
limitation.
the theme of the podcast.
We are our biggest enemies.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, totally agreed. And my last question was regarding this extensive root system, which thank you for explaining. So, because yeah, I mean, I don't know about bamboos and plants, but because of
Bamboos.
Also, another thing about bamboo growth is that once the bamboo shot up in the air, so usually in plants, the thing is that if you grow two plants together nearby, they fight for nutrients in the soil. But with bamboos, it is the thing is that it provides nutrition to other
yes,
saplings to
this
grow
is where
faster.
this
Like
yes,
around.
this is
Like
where
around,
my question
Ah.
was going. So far as that, the
yeah.
extensive.
Sorry to
No,
interrupt
no,
you
no,
there,
that is
bro.
totally fine because like I was really fascinated because this is what I was actually trying to say. Like
Yeah.
the
What an
first the
analogy.
first whatever, like what do we call it? Like the stalk of a bamboo, right? We'll call it a stalk, right? It grows up to a certain height, but then the next one, right, it'll grow a little taller. A little taller and faster as well, right? So because like you said that they're not fighting for the nutrients, they're actually sharing, and through that system they like proliferate. This is what my question was like. So in terms of bamboo growth, have you ever thought about spreading those nutrients towards your friends and family and let's say like other people? And if so, then how do you plan on doing it and how are you doing it?
I think most people do not want to really learn,
Mm.
and it has never been my effort to. I have tried it in the
We all
past,
have,
where it's
yeah.
like, oh damn, I can
Yeah.
change this person, I can get them onto self improvement, but it never works out like that. It's very unplanned. I trust the universe, wherein it's like those people will come into my life in very unexpected and unplanned ways, and when they ask me questions and they're curious and I see it, then I will try to like help them out, try to learn from them as well. At the end of the day, it's all about team effort, right?
Organically.
When I had the courage to be alone, like the right people came into my life, it was such a ripple effect. It was beautiful. Like it was a snowball effect. The right people come into your life, and then every single conversation you have, like your energy should be vibrating at such a good frequency that if I talk to someone on the street today, just by me being like vibrating at that frequency, having that energy in me, they should feel good after that conversation. They should feel motivated. I do get so many messages from like kids in my school that are younger than me, or like just random kids. When I go back to Jamnagar, like there were a couple of instances where kids stopped me on the street and they were like, "Oh shit, you're Moksh. Like I've seen your videos on Instagram." That happened to me in the gym at SUSF in Sydney Uni, and they're like, "Damn, bro, like your reels motivate me. Like if I see your reels, like a jolt of motivation to like go to the gym or like read or like work or whatever it is." And that's the goal. It should be unplanned. It should I never make a constant effort wherein I'm like, hey bro, like I'm going to teach you this today. I feel like it's the best way to go about it is it being very unplanned, and by just being the best version of myself, I feel like other people will get inspired. They will feel the energy. They will feed off of it.
Phenomenal.
So that's my outlook.
And that's what it is, right? Like we realized as well. Me and Anas talked about some. We have a friend
Yeah.
that we love very dearly, and
Right.
we invested so much time into this person. Like, and this is one thing very common about me and Anas. Like, we really like invest a lot of time and effort, put a lot of effort into improving our friends'
Yeah, yeah,
lifestyle or
yeah.
whatever.
I've
So
seen that. I've
this
seen
guy
that.
made
Yeah.
a full-on PowerPoint, bro,
Yeah.
like a full-on PowerPoint, and we presented it to this guy. And this, the moral of the story is, they will never learn unless they come to you willingly,
100%.
right? And if you just try to teach them, they will never learn. And another way of having that impact is if you're just in the surrounding, right? If I'm whatever my surrounding is, that's how I am, right? So me being this person, I'll have an effect on my surrounding, right, and vice versa, and that's how just you help. An example is obviously Raj, Josh, they ran the marathon as well, right?
I saw that on Instagram. I was like that's crazy.
So
42 kms to commit to that,
and it just makes me so happy, man, that like, okay, I was gonna do it anyway, but this person also did it, and it's phenomenal. It just makes you
So happy.
you feel fulfilled. You feel fulfilled
Fulfillment
that
is the
you've
right word.
done something for, because at the end of the day, it's, there's this quote. Uh, Somebody asks 50 Cent or Akon or someone, I can't remember, Pitbull or someone. Yeah, they asked him, money can't make you happy, and he's like, no, absolutely it does. You just gotta give it away.
Yeah. Even Drake said it right. I've got all of these blessings just to give them away anyways.
Yeah.
And I feel like again, just an add-on point to that. One of the most important skills that you can have in this current economy, current state of the world right now, it is just sales and marketing. If you're a very good salesman, in not even you don't even have to be a salesman. If you just know how to hit the right nerve and the right psychology with people, I feel like you can influence them on a bigger scale, massive scale, and with them not feeling like you're trying to help them out or like you're trying to like sell something to them, sell an idea to them. It has to be very natural, and that's why I feel like sales is a very important skill to master. And just an add-on point that I felt like would be
For sure. Amazing. Lastly, I just want to ask that is there any sort of goal, or where do you see this bamboo series going? What first things first, how much of an accountability factor does this bamboo growth play in your life and hold you accountable to live that lifestyle? Because we all fall off, we derail, and we lose momentum. And I've realized this for myself, and Anas has mentioned a few times to me as well, that doing this podcast and Wiser together, it's really kept me grounded to what purpose I envisioned. And when I have this big accountability and responsibility in front of me, I don't have a choice. I have to show up. And in showing up, you kind of turn the momentum in your way again, and you you get that opportunity again and again and again and again, and at some point you will capitalize on it, right?
Absolutely.
So does that hold you accountable as well?
I've said it. A lot of people, like a few people, have asked me this question, and that's what I say every time I want to have a good day. I just film a bamboo growth reel, because I know, like, if I have to be on camera, I will have to go out on the roof. I will have to meditate. I will have to put on the right outfit. If I have the right outfit on, I know I'm confident. If I've hit the gym, I know I'm confident. I'm gonna sit down and study for like say 3-4 hours, whatever I show on my reels. I have to actually do it, and I'm not. I do not like faking my routine, so I do not fake on my. So like I have to actually do it. There's no if I don't do it, the reel doesn't go up. And then again, I have a target of like 3 reels a week, so that's not going to be reached. So every time I just want to have a good day, I start filming. As that simple as that.
Go through that routine.
Go through that routine. Wow. So I had an important deadline milestone recently, and one day before that, like I wasn't feeling it. I knew I had to go through the routine on that day. I knew I had to put in the work, wake up at a certain time, this that, and I was like, all right. I planned the shots the night before. For me to wake up at for me to have that shot in my reel, a 6 a.m. shot of my clock, I know I have to wake up at 6 a.m. So I just planned the reel out in a way wherein I was hitting all of my milestones as well and filming a reel, and that reel is going to be a memory of me leading up to that deadline.
Wow.
So yeah, it just works out perfectly. Everything comes
amazing. And thank you for your honesty.
Good
to be very honest, people don't talk about these things, but those are the most honest things. And to be very honest, the factors that you mentioned, me and Parmeet are also motivated by those factors as well.
Yeah, like you have to show up for this podcast, and you end up having these conversations, and these conversations,
and they charge you up, right?
Exactly.
They charge you up,
exactly,
and you leave a more
exactly.
better.
And like you said,
now I'm gonna be wiser after this. I know how I'm gonna feel after this. This energy is.
No, bro, like, you have given us this energy. I mean, it's
like,
we should do a day in the life together.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I was actually
cold plunge.
I always wanted to do these. It's like so they look.
Plus, bro, I feel like the house that you have, bro.
Yes,
that's crazy.
That's actually I was telling Parmeet that he should definitely do it, like a day in the life sort of a thing. That would look dope.
Because I genuinely, and you as well, Anas, we do these things like I wake up at 5, I'll meditate, I'll do my yoga, go to the gym, go take a cold shower, do my stand on a bed of nails.
Yeah.
If you want to try that, you can do that now. and yeah, start my work, and then evening go to the gym again, so on. Those, it's like we're already
Exactly.
doing these things, and it's
Might as well just
I
have a
just
camera
love
on and
Yeah.
watching them. You know, there's a few
No,
other
and you know what?
yeah,
Like
yeah, no, if you-
but
with
sure, sure.
content creation, the thing is, the last thing that I really want to add is that it's amazing. Like in this day and age, when you have this ability, when you have this facility to just record yourself, it's like a how do you say, like a video, uh what's the right word? I mean, like,
video
you're just
diary.
like a diary, yeah. like
Journaling,
like you write
yeah,
down,
but
like journaling, basically video journaling, like, like how you're feeling, you write it down, like you're showing. And then, it's for your future self as well to have something like this. Yeah, it's
documenting,
for your future
you know,
self as well, like, this is how I used to look, this is what my routine used to look like, these are the things that I used to talk about, and these are the beliefs that I had. And now they might be different, now circumstances might change, etc., etc., but it's just a facility to have, and it's amazing. So I totally encourage it.
Truly, truly.
Yeah.
No, but as you said, your concept of superior runners, and then when you look back at, say, for example, do you journal?
I don't
I'm
journal
guessing.
now. I mean, to be very honest, life has suddenly become so, like these days. Yeah. I mean, I really don't feel like myself, because it's just that I feel like now life is happening to me. So when this happens, I really don't like it. I really want to be dominant. I really want to be on top. Right now, I feel like I'm getting pounded. So these days,
and we all have
exactly,
this
yeah.
Yeah,
So
moment
we all
I'm
have
where
these
just
moments.
trying to, like get myself back on top. Um,
Small
Yes,
wins, bro.
I
Small
mean,
wins.
everything is good. Like, I'm getting things done, but like, again, like the mindset that I,
don't
yeah,
feel
like,
the right.
so where superior Anas came from is, I told Parmeet, like, it was just like flashes I saw, right? And the connection that I made, right now, I just feel disconnected. I feel like superior Anas is probably disappointed in me. So because I can see
Keeps you
him, because
like
I can
driven.
see him, I can see what he looks like. So I just feel like he's disappointed in me, and I don't feel like that connection. So I don't know how you want to call it, like the conscious or the mind or anything, but I just know when he is there, when he is talking to me, and when I'm in that zone. So that's the problem right now that I'm facing. And suddenly, like I said, life has become a little too busy. I have a lot of responsibilities now that I must cater to. And like, at the same
Yeah.
time, I really don't want to take up more thing, because I really feel like I would butcher them. So that's with the state that I'm in right
Mhm.
now. I'm happy, but it's just that the connection needs to be restored, and that can only happen. How do I say, like, when I genuinely feel I still do enough.
Come from within,
Exactly,
you feel
like,
it,
but
yeah.
I still feel like, like, I'm working at 10-15% capacity. So I just, like, I can't shake that feeling off. Anyways, so that's why today, and like, yeah,
And honestly, thank you for sharing that. And I also want to point
yeah,
it out that it might seem like that we're so doing so well,
yeah,
perfect, everything is going well, or it might seem like from certain series or day in a life that people put up. Uh, at the end of the day, everybody's humans, and
exactly,
we all have our
yeah,
ups and downs, and it's important to share everything and
Yeah.
be
absolutely,
vulnerable.
Now,
And
the way I look at it, bro, this is an opportunity more than anything. Like, I love it when
yes,
such, like, for me, it's a rule. Every single day, at the middle of the day, there's this moment where I'm like, why am I
yeah,
even doing
yeah,
this? Like in the middle of, say, for example, I'm studying macroeconomics, right? I'm not able to understand a concept. I'm like, why am I even studying this? How is this relevant? I don't know how I'll do this. And that's what makes me like, I chase those moments. Yeah, the days that I don't get that
yeah.
stress is when I'm like, shit, what am I doing?
yeah,
So I want that stress, and like,
it's very
it makes or
interesting.
breaks
Exactly.
you. So like,
That's
that's
the
an
thing. And
opportunity.
like, in this journey, the most important thing is, and I mean, I don't like to quote Andrew Tate a lot, but this thing that he said, that
He talks a lot, so
if
why
a
not?
cigar or if a cigarette can give me a pleasure, or if a glass, like if some liquid in a glass can give me a pleasure, I don't want it. Like what he's trying to say is that exogenous or external elements, if they are giving you pleasure, or yeah,
Dopamine.
like releasing positive hormones, I don't want it. The hormones should
Mm.
like be internal. They should, like,
Come from
yeah,
within, yeah.
they should be produced by your brain, by your gray matter, or wherever they're produced from, and they should
Yeah.
be internal. And those are only done when a task is completed, when you do something hard, when you struggle with it, and when you get
Yeah,
done, my god, it feels like it's
you gain
orgasmic.
respect for
Like,
yourself.
to me, it's literally,
I
it's
And it's
100%. Yes.
orgasmic,
on,
like,
on a neurological
yeah,
level as well. On a
yeah,
neurological as well, that's when you genuinely like have. go through the process of neuroplasticity,
Yeah.
where new neurons are binding, and you get more creative, and you just generally become more creative. And also about that thing that you said, very interesting, having outside things giving you dopamine and stuff. People don't understand. Everything comes at a cost. That pleasure that you're getting from an outside cost, it comes at a cost. That thing holds power over you. It influences you in ways you can't even imagine.
Exactly.
Right? Be it that ice cream or dessert or cigarette or alcohol or whatever, it has so much power over you
Exactly,
you
like
can't
with,
even imagine. And if you realize it, you won't
yeah,
get
I
there.
mean, like, you know how much I love chocolate, right? Like, I've got so much,
Yeah,
I've got
I
so
love
much
it too,
chocolate
man.
here right now, but I don't eat it anymore. It's because I know, like, the pleasure it's gonna give me, it's nothing compared to getting a job done.
It's
So,
the 5 minutes of pleasure, and then
yes,
like you
exactly.
feel
I just, like, at this point, I'm addicted to ticking off tasks. Like, I'm just like, and it's just so much fun.
That's why I have crazy respect for Muslim people in general, because you guys fast a lot, and that's what you realize, right? After a long day of fasting,
Yes,
when you have
yeah.
even one mango at the end of the day, you realize that, oh shit, like all of that hunger
Bro,
is like
like,
it's gone.
bro, it's
That
gone.
was just
It's
a
so crazy.
mango.
Like, my boss, like, he loves chocolate as well. So he's like giving us chocolates right and left. And there's like, whenever there's a birthday or anything going on at the office, I'm like, I can't eat, and I always taking it
Yeah.
at home. And it's just like there, like my colleague is having his lunch. Everyone is having lunch there and there, and I just don't feel like it. I'm like, no, like the reward. And but when I come home, I eat like a king.
Yeah, bro. You eat your clean food, and
It's
there's
amazing.
no
Yeah,
feeling like having
yeah.
a big clean
even
meal,
even last night
like
even last
chicken,
night I was
rice.
out, like, like my friends were having food and stuff. Like, I came back home and I ate at 3. I was like, no, I will not.
Hmm.
So, and it's just
you shouldn't be eating that late, by the way.
no, because
For me, this monastic discipline, man.
No, bro. I try to be, and I try to project that, and it's just like people ask me this as well. I fail every freaking day, and I just try to project what I want for myself on others.
no,
It's
no,
just
no,
a
you're
way of
right,
doing
you're
That's
right,
that,
yeah.
inspiring.
No, no, thank you.
and it's not necessarily that I am currently that person. I'm trying to be that person,
No,
right?
and that's what I love.
So it's just
That
But
about
in your
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not always there mentally. It's
Hmm.
it's it's
Yeah.
this mental game is hard, and this is all you need to
Yeah, you know
conquer.
what,
Once you get through this,
Moksh, like, being
comes in.
with him is just amazing because he is someone what you call a true friend. He doesn't do any BS. He's like Anas, and I'm like this. I'm a little political, and I don't do it on purpose. It's just that that's my function. I will get the job done.
Even
Yeah,
I have
I will drive to the
I
point,
tend to
but it's just that I'm a little political about it. But for me, it's like, Anas, don't do this to me. If you have something to say it very clearly because he will say it. And you need to have a sort of understanding where that other person is come from, because I know that whatever he says, whether like, it might sound rude, good, bad, not saying it does, but it's just like whatever the tonality or whatever a person might perceive, I know that he's coming from a place, and I really appreciate, because I really don't have such friends. Apart from him, I might have two or three which try, but this guy really makes an active effort.
if you even find one friend like that,
Bro, it's
that's
like
more than
treasure.
enough.
It's
That's
a
more than
treasure.
enough.
It's a
Criticism,
treasure.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
More than enough.
Thank you guys. I love you guys, and I
Moksh,
appreciate
I'll
you
leave
guys.
you to it. The match is about to start as well. I think you'll have to go as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, we're
Yes,
I'm
getting
so
yes.
sorry.
excited.
So you have to go as well. So, I mean,
Okay.
My mom just messaged me asking about the podcast. She's like, "How was it?"
Oh,
So
that's
I'm gonna reply to her
amazing.
now.
So we'll cut it here. Thank you so
I
much.
really
And
had a
like,
Thank
great
you so
time.
much,
Thank you
Anas. It
so
was
much.
my
You are an amazing guy.
now, Anas. You should
I
book a
will.
flight
I
to
will for
Australia, because
sure.
if we have these conversations in person, that'd
yeah.
be crazy.
And I genuinely, man, like the right off the bat, he asked you a question, and the way you answered them, I was almost like it's scripted and stuff. Because right off the bat, with so much
We
conviction, and
started on. He's like, "Moksh, you're 19 years old. Now tell me
what
this."
makes you different?
But he asked the right questions. Like
Yeah, man,
he's
I was
so
very
good.
good
Yeah,
question, but
and you
like,
facilitate the
yeah,
conversation so well.
thank you,
It's
bro.
just teamwork. It's
But
teamwork.
it just at this age, doing the thing you're doing, your answers were so on point, very consistent, concise, cohesive, and yeah, you just knew like you. And a lot of people, like when you put them in these position, you can very clearly tell that it's not about that. But
They
this
felt
guy is
like
all
a.
about
Now I'm
that.
thinking. Now they felt like an interview question.
No, but it was sick because right off the bat, it set the right kind of theme.
Because like
for the
to be
podcast.
very honest, like this he wouldn't expect this anyone to ask him such a question. Like it's really a question.
Yeah.
No, the thing is that we have
Yeah.
such conversations like twice a week. Me and Aryan. Again, Aryan is a 22-year-old
Your
friend of
friend,
mine. Very successful in his career. Always driven. One of the most driven people I've ever met. Gives me the hard pill every time. He tells me, he calls me out when I'm wrong. I call him out when I'm wrong. And the crazy part about it is like we have these conversations every now and then. And I feel like these conversations are what keep you alive, keeps you driven. So
you
it's
need
so
that
important
people
to have
around
those
you.
people around you.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that like y'all have each other here and you're fostering these conversations.
Yeah.
And
No, it's a
props to you
community
guys,
now.
man.
It's
Like,
we're
thank
all a
you.
community, so that's the thing. Yes.
We are
So,
wiser together,
yes,
100%.
it's everything together, and yeah, that's what it's about. So, thanks again, bro, and thank you everybody else for joining and sticking by to the end. Please support us in any way you can. We truly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next Sunday. By the way,
Yeah.
sunset looks crazy, but yeah,
Ciao,
we'll see you
guys.
next.
Like, follow, subscribe. Listen, I'm just kidding.
We'll,
No,
we'll
I'm
try-
just
no,
kidding.
no,
Yes.
we're gonna actually we do this, but we haven't had a guest in some time, or we haven't
Yeah.
recorded in some time. So we're gonna. Where can they find you? Please tell them.
Sure. So I make a lot of day in the life and day in the life content on Instagram. My bamboo growth series is on my Instagram. It's my name, Moksh Vasant, MOKSHVASANT.
Mhm.
And on YouTube, again, it's my name. I create short films on self improvement on YouTube. I'm not that consistent with posting on YouTube. It's just like a passion project for me. But yeah, I'm more consistent on Instagram. So yeah, if you guys
Yeah.
found what I said interesting, so check it out. If you
Yeah,
said
definitely check it out. I honestly love the
Same
series,
here.
and every time you put it up, I'm like, this is so amazing. So guys, check it out. We're gonna put it in the description as well, so you can easily find him. And
Never too
yeah,
blind.
again, thank you everyone, and we'll see you
Ciao,
next
guys.
Sunday.